Smiles, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. So,
I apologize about my voice, by the way.
no problem. So, do you want to tell the audience what happened? Well,
So, I may or may not have played Cards Against Humanity with the Game Grumps last night in a room full of lots of people and lots of shouting and lots of drinks, and I regret nothing.
so is that like your favorite moment this year's RTX?
I hate to play favorites, but that was hands down the highlight of this weekend for me because a lot of us are huge fans of Game Grumps and Starbomb, and getting to meet them and hang out and find out they're super cool dudes, awesome. Dream come true.
Another huge highlight for RTX. Congratulations for #1 on Indiegogo.
Woo! Thank you, man. That was insane. I could not believe that. Indiegogo too. There was a lot of shouting when we found out that we'd hit #1. That was like I still can't believe that many incredible people were generous enough to help us reach that goal.
What is it now? Like 2.25 million?
And growing, I think. I don't know, man. It's insane. I believe it ends today. I believe today is the last day that you can
Tonight
donate.
at midnight?
I think it might be at 6. I think it's when the hall closes. I'm not sure on that. But,
Okay.
But yeah, today's the last day, and people are still giving.
Sweet. So, let's talk about RWBY for some time. What was it like directing and working on your first anime?
It was a really daunting task. It was something that neither Carrie nor Monty or I we'd never really done anything like that before. And I think Volume 1 was a lot of fun. It was us kind of figuring out what kind of story we wanted to tell, what the pacing was going to be like, what the characters were going to be like. And it was also, us getting a few mistakes out of the way. I think it wasn't the perfect season, but I still love it to death. And the few shortcomings that we did have, I think we've learned from them, and we're going to grow on them. And I think Volume 2 is going to be that much better because of them. And yeah, it's been super super fun, and the fan reaction is unbelievable. I just can't. It's overwhelming, man. It's overwhelming.
Well, it might be overwhelming too that you actually have a video game out now.
Yeah, so Rooster Teeth is officially going into game development, which I can't believe is like a thing. It's funny. Something that I love about this company is if we want to do something, we just go out and do it. Like, we don't say like, oh, we're a production company, we don't do games. No, if we want to make games, we're gonna make games. And the RWBY game is just the start. Jordan, only 19, made the whole alpha on his own, and it's already a pretty polished, fun game for what it is. So we're just going to keep building on that, and then bigger and better things there. We're partnered up with Certain Affinity, doing stuff on their game Age of Booty, and yeah, dude, sky's the limit, man. This is the start of hopefully something really big.
Have you played the RWBY game?
I did get to play a little bit, and it's fun, man. You run around cutting Beowulfs in half. Hell yeah, dude! It's cool. It's a fun little hack and slash.
Are you good at it?
No, no, I'm not. Not at all.
Okay, so was there any challenge of creating the universe of RWBY?
Oh, absolutely. Writing for RWBY is a lot of fun and a lot easier because the universe and the characters is already really well defined. With RWBY, we are creating a world, and it's hard to know if the world we're coming up with is a good one. We just have to say, this is the world we want to make, this is the story we want to tell. Some people might like it, some people may not, but we just have to try and stay true to our golden rule, which is we want to make something that we feel like we'd want to watch. So yeah, it's really hard building from nothing, but it's also really fun to have that much freedom.
What was it like actually creating your own character, John?
So it's funny. Jean was essentially the result of a silly voice and then just an idea for like a nerdy character amongst all these really badass warriors, and it was fun. We have some big things in store for him, as well as a bunch of other what seem like side characters right now. But it's fun. It's fun essentially getting to play a heightened version of my middle school self. It's a lot of fun.
But John has the most potential to be actually one of the most powerful characters because of his high possession of aura. Is that correct?
Well, I wouldn't say one of the most powerful, but it's more of a he does have potential. He may not see it, but others do, and that is, I think, something that we wanted to that was a message that we wanted to convey, is that just because you may not see that you're special, other people can see it, and sometimes you need to listen to them.
That's awesome. There's actually a big debate going on the RWBY wiki. People were asking, is John's like sword have any dust in it, or is it just a plain hack and slash?
It's just a sword. All he has is a sword and a shield. That's it.
So, for season 2 of RWBY, will you be focusing on RWBY yourself, or will you be switching to the protagonist, like the main protagonist, to another member of the team?
So like last year, what we really like to do with RWBY is obviously Ruby Rose is she's our main gal, but we wanted to try and establish in Volume 1 that not every episode is going to particularly be about her. We had some episodes that focused on Weiss and Blake. We had a couple episodes that focused on Jean and Pyrrha, and we're going to continue to do that. We're introducing a few newer characters this season. So yeah, you're absolutely going to get a lot of stuff that focuses on RWBY, but then we're also going to get other things that focus on other characters and how they all relate to one another.
How many teams should we expect this year?
More.
That's all. So for Weiss, for Blake, and all of them, did you create the characters and then see from Rooster Teeth who wants to act, or did you kind of build the characters around the actors?
It was a little bit of both. Monty had kind of a base concept for the 4 types of characters that he wanted, and then we talked about who we had at our disposal, and then brought them on board, let them audition, wanted to see if they had the acting chops to handle the role. Everybody did, which was awesome. It's very rarely do things just work out like that. And then once the roles were cast, I remember the girls got to have a little bit of input on what their character exactly looked like and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a little bit of both.
So for for RWBY, is there any like mythological inspiration behind it?
There's a lot of stuff that goes into inspiration for RWBY. Well, the first line of the series is Legends, and that's something that we wanted to do. Obviously, Ruby Rose is a character inspired by Little Red Riding Hood, and there's a bunch of other characters, both from works of fiction and from our own history. Joan of Arc and the Cardinal of Winchester, and even great books and films and things like that. That was kind of like the fun thing that we wanted to do with RWBY, is see characters that are sort of like these other legendary characters from other works, but kind of in like a different light in a different universe and stuff. And there's a lot of like fun mythology and stuff, and there's a very deep and rich culture and lore in the world of Remnant that we're going to be getting into as the series progresses, that hopefully people will find very interesting.
Oh, thanks. So how long does your average episode of RWBY take to make and then get like all ready for the viewer?
To give you an idea, it's hard to pinpoint. It really depends on the episode, but we have been working on Volume 2 probably since before December of last year. Yeah, animation is a very, very long and very, very difficult process, and every second that you see of RWBY is hours of blood, sweat, tears, and love.
Well, I'm going to let you go, Miles, but I have one more question. Excluding RWBY, what is your favorite anime?
My favorite anime, although everybody says it, is Cowboy Bebop, mainly just because it was the first real serious anime I ever saw. Not counting Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z and stuff. That was it was my gateway drug, I guess. I watched Cowboy Bebop. I loved the way music was used. I loved the characters, and I loved the way the story was told. Also a big fan of Samurai Champloo and Fully Cooley, just because it is so wild and such a fun ride. But yeah, I will always have a special place in my heart for the Bebop and the Space Cowboys.
Well, thanks, Miles. I'm Josh from Geek News Network, and this is Miles Luna from Rooster Teeth. Thank you.